Hold up, why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. You waiting on the boy to fail, then hold your breath and face your death. Cause you play the roulette with each step I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bet.
Welcome back, y'all. This is a Double M Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jesus Dinero, here with my co-host,
Puma El Gato.
What do we got going on tonight, my man?
Zander Zayas is talking a whole lot of smack to Vergil-Ortiz. Let's talk about it.
Listen, I had to talk about this because I saw Zander Zayas going back and forth with Oscar De La Hoya, and it pissed me off what Zander was saying. And hear me out. So, essentially, Zander leaked an email between Top Rank, who Zander is under, and Golden Boy, who Vergil-Ortiz is under. Basically saying, if you look at the content of the email is basically saying, hey, this is a 50-50 fight. Let's have it in Vegas. You know, blah, 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 blah. Basically going over, you know, what each one wants. Now, Zander's saying, nah, fight me in Puerto Rico. Why in Puerto Rico, may you ask? Well, Zander is Puerto Rican. It's almost like he wants to have the advantage. And listen, take a look at Zander Zayas' fight rec. He fought nobody. He has fought nobody. Yes, he's champion. I get it. He's champion. But he doesn't have any reputable names on his record. The last two fights that Vergil-Ortiz has were against tough individuals, one of whom, Israel Madrimov, arguably beat Terrence Crawford. So the fact that Zander really thinks he's that guy right now, the fact that this man thinks because he won a championship all of a sudden he's that individual, I honestly hope he fights Vergil-Ortiz, and I hope Vergil-Ortiz humbles the shit out of him. Because I'm not gonna lie, why don't you want to fight him in Vegas? Why are you being a pussy? Why don't you want to fight him in Vegas? Why do you have to have it in your home country? It's almost like for some reason you're scared to have it on neutral ground. You want to have it where you're going to have the benefit, more than likely have the judges that you want. And my thing is, again, bro, if you're the champ, fair enough. You want to say, hey, look, I want a little bit extra money. I think that's fair. If you want to say, hey, look, I want preferential treatment, my name first, that's fair. You want to say, hey, listen, I want more pay-per-view points. I want a little bit more this, a little more. All that is fair. I will grant you that, even though I personally think Vergil-Ortiz is a bigger name. But I will grant you all of those things. But to think that you can dictate, nope, has to be in Puerto Rico, you are insane, man. Look at his fight record. You fighting Vergil-Ortiz is going to be the biggest name on your resume, big dog. You don't deserve to call that type of shot on where it goes. You need to fight in Vegas like you're being told and do it the right way. Because, again, listen, first of all, Las Vegas is the fight capital of the world. That's number one. Number two, you're not a bigger name than Vergil-Ortiz. Vergil-Ortiz has fought better people. Don't believe me, y'all? Just go take a look at the fight recs for each individual. If you can tell me one individual who's a reputable individual on Zander Zayas' record, I'll respect it. But none of them are. I took a look right before we did this. And just the last two. That Vergil-Ortiz fought. Reputable names. And again, one of them arguably beat Terrence Crawford. So I don't want to hear none of that shit from Zander's aside, from Bob Arum, from Top Rank, from none of them. And listen, I went through the comments. All the Puerto Rican fanboys came out in droves. You guys are insane. Why should this man get to dictate where the fight happens? And here's the thing. It'd be one thing if you were to say, hey, look, I don't want it in Texas. That's where Vergil-Ortiz is from. That's fair. Because then you'd be giving home team advantage to Vergil-Ortiz. That's fair. Don't have it in Texas. But Vegas is literally where all the big fights happen. Unlike his predecessors, unlike the Cottos of the world, unlike all these great Puerto Ricans, this man is dodging the smoke. And I've not known Puerto Rican fighters to do that. Puerto Rican fighters generally will take the smoke and they say anywhere, anytime. This man is saying, not on your time. Not on any neutral ground. I want preferential treatment. Even though you're a nobody, dude. You're a nobody. What do you think about that, my man?
I don't think Zander Zayas has any negotiation power on this. Again, if you look at the fight resume between all this, Vergil-Ortiz is arguably a lot more impressive. Zander Zayas, you look at his Wikipedia. He has one blue link on his fight record. And look, if what he's saying is true, in that Vergil-Ortiz did accept the fight, and he's like, okay, I won it at Las Vegas, and Zander was the one to say, no, who's really the duck there? Even though Zander Zayas is basically arguing that Vergil-Ortiz is saying that Vergil-Ortiz is the duck in the situation, let's think about this. Let's think about this logically. Let's say let's say that Xander really truly believes that he can bring the smoke to Vergil Ortiz. Wouldn't we want to do that on the grandest stage possible? In front of the millions. You say, I can beat this man. But your argument is that you want to do it in front of 100,000 people versus 2 million? Absolutely insane. As far as if the fight is going to happen or not, on the one hand, I do think Vergil should take it just to embarrass his man and basically say, okay, we can fight anywhere. I can take the fight to you. On the other hand, I would argue, I think with the rumor that Vergil Ortiz might be in talks with fighting Jared Boots Ennis, I do think that's actually more of a marquee fight. I personally think that Vergil Ortiz has bigger fish to fry than a Zander Zayas. I do think Vergil Ortiz should at least big man him and say, you want to fight? All right, have more names on your record. You need more negotiating power if you want to come at me for all this. That is my opinion on it. What do you think about that? Am I being too harsh on him?
No, man, I completely agree. Listen, Vergil Ortiz is not that type of dude, but I completely agree with you that he should do that. Because, again, all due respect to Zander Zayas, but my bro, you haven't fought anybody. Nobody heard about you literally until a day ago when you won the championship. Nobody heard of you, bro. And again, for you to think you get to dictate who you want to fight, where you want to fight, is BS. Again, listen, if you want to fight Vergil or if Vergil wants to fight you, why not in Vegas? Vegas is the perfect town. Again, every major fight happens in Vegas. It's, again, not just me. Oscar has said it. Bob Arum has said it. Dana White has said it. Doesn't matter which promoter you want to pick. I mean, hell, Turkey Al-Sheikh has said it. All of these people have said it. Vegas is the fight capital of the world. Stop. Listen, you know what this is giving the energy of this dude being a pussy because he wants every possible advantage that he could get because he's scared. And listen, again, Vergil Ortiz has a 90-something% knockout record. With the exception of these last two fighters because they're tough as shit, he's knocked out almost every single individual that he's faced. So my question is, if you're so sure, Xander, that you could beat this man, if you're so sure, if you think I'm the champion, I'm that guy, why not fight him in Vegas? Why not fight him where every other major fight happens? Let's call it how we see it, folks. He is dodging the smoke. He doesn't want none of it. And listen, if I was Vergil Ortiz, I would either big man him and tell him get some reputable names and we'll talk. But like, listen, bro, again, this is per who's the British dude that we're talking about? Gerard Boots Ennis is Eddie Hearn, sorry. This is via Eddie Hearn. In 2026, he said it himself. Eddie Hearn said it himself. They have a contract that Gerard Boots Ennis and Vergil are going to fight sometime in 2026. He's got bigger names. Xander needs Vergil. Vergil don't need Xander. Again, the mere fact that Vergil has Gerard Boots Ennis in the waiting here in 2026. My bro, that's a way bigger fight than Vergil versus Zayas. So what are you talking about, Xander? You're nobody, big dog. And listen, you may be a somebody someday. You may be one of the all-time Puerto Rican greats. I'm not doubting you have the ability. What I'm doubting right now is your nutsack, my guy, because at this point you saying, are you going to let him fight me in Puerto Rico or not? Why not just fight him in Vegas? What's the problem? It sounds like some pussy shit to me. And with that, make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and
Until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you in the next one.